How to get your dog to love his harness. First, you can start off by having your dog look at the harness, click, and treat. Put a treat on the harness and click the dog for eating the treat off of the harness. Now click your dog for sniffing the harness. It's very likely to happen because the treat was sitting on top of the harness. If your dog knows nose targeting, you can ask him to target the harness.
Good boy.
If your dog doesn't know the cue touch, simply continue clicking your dog for sniffing the harness. Click or say yep for touching the dog on the areas of the body that the harness will touch. Touch the dog, say yep, then feed the treat. Most dogs that don't like wearing a harness usually have the underlying issue that their body is very sensitive to being touched. So you want to work a couple of weeks on even just touching your dog with your hands. If your dog ever backs away or tries to nip you, that shows you you're going too fast and you need to go back a step and make the touching less intrusive. Click or say yep for touching the dog gently with the harness.
Yep.
Touch the dog with the harness and click or say yep as the harness touches their body. As you can see in this footage, my dog really doesn't like being touched with the harness. He's very sensitive to being touched.
Yep.
Open and close the harness buckle and feed the dog as if the buckle was the sound of a clicker.
Good boy.
This conditions the dog to love every aspect of the harness, even the noise of the harness closing around him.
Good boy.
Move the harness towards the dog and feed the dog through the harness. You'll be marking by saying yep or clicking as the dog maintains his position and doesn't back away from the harness.
Good boy.
If you have a dog that's highly fearful of their harness, you can walk them on their collar while you spend a couple of days working on them loving their harness. Don't forget to say yep or click for removing the harness as well. Here you can see my puppy is trying to get the treat without having to put his head through the harness. I'm simply going to wait him out and see if he thinks to try the right thing. He's going to try spin, he tried appeasement licking, he tried sitting. He's going to try and get the treat without putting his head through.
Yes, good boy.
He's learning the only thing that works is to put his head through the harness. If you don't like luring with food, you can always use the touch cue.
Puppy touch, yes. Good
Simply
job.
position your fingers in the opening of the harness as though they were a lure and ask your dog to touch. The final result. This is my puppy after 3 sessions of a couple of minutes of conditioning him to the harness. His emotional response to the harness has changed completely, and he'll even offer putting his nose through the opening of the harness so that I can easily put it on him.
done.
Now, because my puppy is so sensitive to being touched, I'm also working on a lot of handling with him. This may seem like a lot of work just to get a dog to like putting a harness on, but you will find that handling exercises and working on body sensitivity exercises will actually contribute to your dog having a wonderful temperament when being handled and touched in the future. Feeling insecure about being handled is one of the main reasons that dogs bite people. Make sure when you do these exercises that you don't trap the dog in a corner or have them on leash. They should feel like it's their choice and that they can escape if they need to. Making a dog feel trapped could cause them to bite, but also make your conditioning efforts pointless or have their reverse effect. Make sure to muffle the clicker with a piece of poster tack or lots of layers of tape when working with the clicker near your dog's ears. You can also use a marker word like yep instead of the clicker when you are doing handling exercises, or you can get a friend to click for you.